Yeah.
Alright. Getting back into it. Sorry that I crashed, though. Don't know what's going on with it. I've tried multiple times to figure out, like, why it's happening. It just doesn't want to cooperate. So we'll see. The...
One of the cats.
Yeah. The time passes for a brief moment, Aeolus, after you send this message. I need you to roll me a D100, please. Okay. You hear a coughing sputter. I was wondering if they sent someone. I don't know where. Not dead. You were that weird guy that I met. Armskirker. I'm not long for this. That's the end of the message.
What were the past words she said?
I'm not long for this.
Sounds good.
Aeolus just locks eyes with Siegfried. And Ryder's alive, but she's in trouble. We gotta go now. Wherever we go, we gotta go now.
Let's go, Karad Gate. Let's move out.
All right.
Don't we need to know where she is to save her?
We have no idea where she is.
Can we ask her?
She doesn't know where she is.
Does anyone have access to the scrying spell?
Maybe. 1 second.
I do have. I have it also.
Do you have it prepared right now, Helly?
I don't have to prepare. So
Okay.
yeah.
Why don't you try and scry? Well, you don't know Windrider, right?
Helly met Windrider.
Yeah.
He was
Better.
there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
yeah.
Helly, try scrying Windrider right now. See if you can get any details.
Okay.
What's the casting time on scrying?
10 minutes.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. Some info. Failed save. Okay. Is anyone doing anything else while Helras is in the process of preparing and casting this spell?
I'm just getting our stuff together to move.
This is
That's
not
about it.
something I can guidance, right? Because it takes more than a minute to cast.
And there's also not a skill check in it.
Yeah, the saving throw is
save.
on the recipient, not the caster, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've used this because I usually use that slot for for mass cure wounds. Just my other 5th slot spell. So this is a surprise.
This is a great spell. I love this
Yeah, I
spell
did.
so much.
The rules are different now too, right? This is an updated spell.
I think so, yeah.
Never looked at the updated stuff yet.
When I gave that bangle to Aeolish, I would have taken the ring of spells storing and the sword
Okay.
in the bag.
Did we lose Spencer again?
Nope. Just
Okay.
letting you guys
No, no, no.
discuss that
I
stuff
thought you
in the
might
meantime.
have- I thought you might have cut out. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm paranoid now.
All right. Let me double check my description for this. All right. And I believe Windrider makes a save, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The target makes a wisdom save, which is modified by how well you know the target.
Yeah.
And which is a +0 because I've met her, but I don't know her
First hand
well.
you've met. Yeah. Yeah. Um.
We don't have any pieces of her, so.
Picture likeness. Yeah, you don't have any of that stuff. Are you in the middle of the Moonsands Caravansary as you're doing this?
I think we
Yeah.
move outside. We move outside.
Okay. Helras, as you are sitting, I will make the interpretation that as you are under the effects of Scry, you are recounting everything that you are seeing, narratively, to everyone else around you, because you can't see what's going on around you because you're in the Scry.
Right.
As you sit for a moment, the rest of you watch as Hellerast's eyes go milky white for the briefest of moment, almost similar to that with the eye that the hags had taken from her, before they glow with this faint, pale, cold light on the interior of them that opens and sort of flows out of her eye sockets like this gently flowing mist as she is locked in position for the duration of this spell. Hellerast. Your vision flickers for a moment. It goes dark. You blink, trying to glance around. You turn your head, but you can't feel your muscles shifting. You can still feel the warm sand beneath your feet. You can feel the sun beating down upon your shoulders, the hands of your companions keeping you steady. You see nothing for a moment as your vision shifts and refocuses. You think you've moved. You're not sure if you've moved up or down, or you felt motion, but you didn't get a direction of the motion. You see a monochrome spread of grays and shifting shadows. The ground, if you can call it ground beneath you, is fractured and has a slick appearance in the non-fractured spaces that makes it feel like obsidian glass. There's jagged ridges of this glass-like earth that have been disturbed here and there, leaving sharp edges where mists of monochrome pool here and there flowing around these jagged bits in the lower recesses. Even through the magic of this spell, the air just feels wrong to you. It's dead, hollow, empty. You hear very faint echoes shifting through the space, carried on breezeless wind that doesn't seem to dissipate the mists, cloying at the ground. Cries of agony. Your vision shifts slightly, following some unknown path to you. It centers on a form stumbling. It's an elvish woman, garbed in frayed traveling leathers, a torn cloak, stained with a grayed fluid. There's no color to this apparition, this sight you see. It might be blood. It's hard to tell. You have no clue if it's hers or not. Your sensor shifts around to her side, and you can see an expression with tight with pain. And her heavy breaths seem to cloud ever so slightly in front of her mouth. You gather it must be cold, wherever she's at. Her one hand is dangling in a side, sort of trailing this thin falchion that she carries. Arm might be injured in some type of way, and you can see the splash of fluid along part of the sleeve. Her other hand is clutched around an amulet that she's wearing. You can see a very faint corona of light spilling from between her fingers. A moment passes, and you see her glance over her shoulder for a moment. One moment. As she glances over her shoulder, gathers she must feel like something's watching her. Her eyes just sort of glaze past where you are, where this sensor is through which you're seeing her. A few minutes have passed at this point. Maybe about half the spell still remains. Behind her, you see, sort of shimmering in the air for the briefest of moment, a thin sort of slit, like someone has taken the three-dimensional space of the background behind her and made an incision and just folded part of this reality away. You want to cry out. The rest of you hear Hellerast cry out, "Look out!" The woman whom you recognize as Windrider doesn't hear you, as a tendril of milky ink sort of lashes out and slashes at her. As she turns and tries to pull her falchion arm up, the tendril retreats back into this slit in reality, which fades almost instantly. Her head's on a swivel now. She continues to sort of stagger along, holding the amulet tighter. Her pace is picked up. Another slit starts to open. This time she's ready. She darts away, making a hard dash to her left, 15-20 feet, trying to move distance. More of these tears in this space seem to open into this darkness, and these undefined forms are trying to slither out, flickering with angles that feel wrong, and they don't remain consistent from one moment into the next. Like, these things are formed and also formless simultaneously. It twists your mind in ways that you're not sure how to interpret it, and your mind is struggling to keep pace with these things' existence. everywhere it touches, when it misses one of these lashes out at her, there's this crackling like ice shattering, this warping sound of a frozen river that sort of echoes and fades into the distance as it strikes the ground, that you can feel reverberate through the sensor almost.
Wow.
The vision starts to fade. You can feel the spell coming to an end. And as you try to force yourself forward, try to see more, you can see looks like she's breathing heavily, but the lashes have started to fade, and she might have made it through wherever these things were, but her vision's still in a swivel. And as you try to push to see more, see an instant longer, you feel yourself thrust back into your form, breathing heavily, covered and drenched in sweat. The sun beating down upon your face. You are in the heated courtyard of Urcrypt.
Holy cow, guys, it's not good.
You were screaming.
Yeah, I don't know if she's even in this world or in an interdimensional space. I can't tell where she is, but she is in deep, deep, deep trouble. And she's desperately trying to stay alive.
You said that she was surrounded by something that looked like obsidian.
Yeah, it was
It was cold.
shattering and it was cold. I could see her breath. She was still fighting against whatever it is she was in the presence of, but it didn't look like she was doing well in that fight.
Does it sound like anywhere that we've heard of?
Yeah, can we go to the map sensor?
Certainly.
So obsidian with liquid must mean it's one of the volcanoes.
Yeah.
Helleras, make me an Arcana check as well.
Okay. Come on. Oh, now is when my computer was okay. Arcana. There we go. Come up. Oh, yeah.
You don't have disadvantage, so 13.
I'm gonna wheel this.
Okay.
Do it again.
No.
I can. Oh, it's a 14.
14.
Okay.
Okay. You know your own spell. If she was on a different plane of existence, scrying would not work. You also know scrying does not make you see in monochrome. You saw you saw light emanating from her amulet, and yet everything even around that was still in monochrome. So if you had been relying on dark vision through the sensor, that little bit of corona of light would have illuminated the colors of her garment, the splashes of liquid. If they were blood, they would have been red. Wherever she was is monochrome.
Monochrome.
Is it like
It
a
is-
soul gem or something?
Jaya, we need your library.
Drained of colors.
We need your library. We need to find a place that was drained of colors. Somewhere in Droucia.
Is there any research that I would have done that would speak of areas like this?
You can make me an Arcana check. The last check on the matter without the library.
I'm gonna wheel this too just to get the highest possible we can.
Sure.
Nat 20 for Eola's.
Yeah.
Nice.
Alright, so we got a 26. Alright. In your time, Aeolus, you've read most of what you can get a hand on. You have two thoughts that immediately come to your mind. One is the latter of the two is if the former is incorrect, you know that either the library Jaya carries or Fellhold Refuge might be able to hold the answer for this. With the entity with which you interacted in Fellhold Refuge, which is, to your knowledge, the most ancient thing you have ever encountered. And Wick, the mouthpiece at that point. Your former thought is you made a very small jaunt through the negative ethereal. And you saw an environment reflection of Brigand Hold. It is possible that the environment in which she has found herself could be the reflection of somewhere else within Droucia. A volcano seems reasonable.
Yes, and if it's truly a reflection, the reflection of a jungle would be cold, right?
Yeah.
I think our best shot is the jungle.
One of the volcanoes there. Do we remember
The-
anything like that from where the hags were?
What,
I
obsidian?
remember.
Yeah,
remem-
just any
No.
kind of volcanic
we
glass thing.
remember there was the obsidian road going over the lava
Yeah, that's
on the
right.
way there, and then also inside the temple, the water had a white milkiness to it. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Damn it, I'm gonna have to see the hags.
We should probably use the library. If we
Before
can't
we
find
go.
the answers there,
Yeah. Then we go to the jungle. Let's find a safe spot to use the library. Are there any abandoned buildings left on the outside of our crypt?
There's a handful. Yeah, you can easily find one.
Yeah, so I think we find it there and we set up the library. Dunn and Helly keep guard of the library on the outside. Dunn and Helly and Tang can stay out on. Sorry.
I can help guard.
Okay, yeah. So Dunn and Helly and Tang will guard, and the rest of us will go in the library.
Yeah. Using the library to do the legend lore takes 8 hours.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a long rest. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe the only person capable of guarding for that time because of her potion would be Tang.
Okay.
I can cast legend lore.
Oh.
That might
Oh.
get us answers faster than the library.
Sure.
I
If you have the resources, then yeah.
I also
can.
had a thought
Mhm.
for a last effort.
Okay.
But let's do the legend lore first.
Sure.
Are you doing library or is this? It sounds like you're going with divine intervention, correct?
I think that makes more sense because I don't know that we can waste
A
8
long
hours
rest.
in the library. She's not gonna.
Yeah.
Okay.
What questions should? No. So like, what description am I doing? Am I doing the space?
The space would make the most sense, but if she is within the negative, then I'm frazzled.
Yeah,
I
because
can't
we have to
think
figure.
straight.
We have to figure out a way to get into the negative ethereal.
My problem
would-
with this is that I don't know that the negative ethereal is famous.
Yeah,
Is she famous?
she is famous. Windrider is famous, but
He's well known within the Iron
Um,
Fang.
why don't So the Temple of the Raven Queen was in the volcano, right, Spencer?
Correct.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can. Oh, he said yeah.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So why don't you try and look up information on the Temple of the Raven Queen? See if there's an entrance to the negative ethereal somewhere in the complex. Is that possible?
Is the Temple of the Raven Queen famous? I thought she was forgotten.
I don't know.
I mean,
She's unworshipped,
She is unworshipped.
as
Doesn't
are.
mean she wasn't famous at one time.
True.
But it's not like Vergisiv was that famous either. Like, no one knew what
Just because
Vergisiv... Yeah,
Just because it's forgotten doesn't mean it's not legendary.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay. Then the Temple of the Raven Queen?
Where the hags reside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
So you want to learn everything you can about that space, and any connection it has to the negative ethereal, if any. Correct?
Correct.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's pick up with that next session.
Nice. Just so you know, next session is the last one I can join before my 4-week hiatus.
Okay.